Governor Soludo assures of prompt completion of road projects. Special prayer summit for Igbo land ends in Enugu State. Federal government berate foreign airlines on threat to shut down operations. Amnesty International seeks war crimes investigation against Israel. Before the news and details, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Chidimma Orangwa. Governor Chukwuma Soludo says his administration is constructing stone-based roads with a cement stabilization and moisture content, a quality he said has never been seen before. Governor Soludo, who disclosed this in an ABS radio and television interactive session with the people of Anambra State captioned, "A chat with Mr. Governor," maintained that it is not proper to apply asphalt on roads during the rainy season, adding that from next month, more road reconstruction will commence. We have details of this report from our studio.
Governor Soludo said that by the end of next month, every local government area must experience one road reconstruction or another, pointing out that every local government area must experience government presence as part of efforts aimed at opening up the hinterlands. Governor Soludo, who said that already work has commenced on 14-kilometer road in Okpoko, Obaru local government area, as well as the Abaka to Nsugbe and the decongestion of 3 axes. The governor maintained that any road project inaugurated for reconstruction by his administration must be properly inspected to ensure that Anambra gets the value of their money. The governor said that all roads awarded by his administration have various timelines, pointing out that they will be completed before the end of his first year in office. He disclosed that the one at Mmiatanam will be completed before March next year, while the one at Amansi will be completed by February next year. The governor said that the second phase of the road reconstruction project will experience the inauguration of 100 kilometers of roads in different parts of the state by the end of next year, and called on Anambra to continue with their support and prayers to his administration.
We must give our people value. We must give our people value. All at the same time. In fact, you will go in budget Anambra in Batason Sonoka. You will not be able to deal with all the roads in the Noka alone. We have a resource constraint, and we are trying to allocate them in a way that is very strategic. Phase 1 of the roads we are dealing with, but roads that are very strategic in nature. We are thinking about the roads that impact on the largest number of people and that help to also address issues such as traffic, for example. If I now from Abaka to Nsugbe with Sport to Hausen, and there is another one we are designing off New Market Road, Savoy, then Gabo through Transinkese, and so on, all designed to decongest around the area where people get stuck on traffic for about 5-6 hours on daily basis. This is the kind of strategic moves we are doing.
On security of life and property, Governor Soludo disclosed that his administration is encouraging various communities to invigorate their local vigilante for useful information that will help the government nip crime and criminality in the bud. He said that Anambra employed him to secure lives and property, adding that the government will do all it can to ensure that the state is safe and conducive for business transactions. Governor Soludo called on the people of the state to always pay their tax and levies promptly to enable the government serve them better.
Anambra State government has directed hotel proprietors and owners of hospitality industry operating without registration to kindly register with the Anambra State identification number with a sum of 2,000 naira and as well obtain operational license. The Commissioner for Culture, Entertainment and Tourism, Mr. Don Onyenji, gave the directive while interacting with hotel proprietors and owners of hospitality facilities at the Professor Dora Akunyele Women Development Center, ORCA. Correspondent Emmanuel Chibota reports.
The meeting, which addressed issues of enumeration and validation of hotel licenses as well as security, attracted the Commissioner for Homeland Affairs, Chief Chikodi Anara, and the Chairman of Anambra Internal Revenue Service, Mr. Richard Madiebo. Mr. Onyenji expressed worry that many hotels in the state are operating without operational license and registration, saying that the Soludo government will not tolerate such. He said that to have a smart megacity that will lead to a prosperous nation, every hospitality industry must have a license to operate according to international tourism and hospitality standards, while disclosing that an office will be opened in Anambra State International Passenger and Cargo Airport Umueri for people to know the hospitality facilities in the state for easy accessibility. Mr. Onyenji, who further said that tourism is the major revenue earner for many countries, urged the hotel proprietors to assist the government to make the state a suitable environment where they would operate with ease.
We want to tell every facility, hospitality and the Anambra State that is housing any business, especially in this gaming machines, to come to us. We are already investigating this matter, to come forward and interact with the government. It is very important. So that if you want to spend your money, you know what to put in and get back.
In the area of security, the Commissioner for Homeland Affairs, Chief Chikodi Anara, urged the hotel proprietors to always submit their manifest to security agencies concerned on daily basis in case of fraudulent activities and emergencies. Chief Anara, who said that security of life and property is one of the key agenda of the government, asked hotel proprietors to support the government in order to create an environment for their businesses to thrive, while adding that security is fundamental to their business operations and development.
Illustration of your hotel as an entity doing business in the state, and those who not finish construction, newly, who are registered, let's say, go to the important part, and this is just why I'm here.
Much auction that really license. So that the person that is going to handle this thing for us, betting, sports betting, gambling, will be somebody that can work with everybody from the hotels to the sports betting agencies and all of that.
On his part, a consultant to the Ministry of Culture, Entertainment and Tourism, Mr. Shede Kanu, added that as enshrined in the Anambra State Tourism and Hospitality Law, any hotel operating without license will be shut down. A hotel proprietor, Mr. Chigozie Learia, complained about exorbitant tax payments, while Comrade Oke Ushe called for the law guiding the hospitality industry in the state to be made available to them. Emmanuel Shibata for ABS News.
The people of Umueri in Anambra East local government area have played host to the Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 general elections, Mr. Peter Obi, on his visit to the persons affected by flood at the holding centers at Nneyi Umueri. Mr. Obi during his visit was accompanied by some Anambra East and West stakeholders, including Dr. Tony Moye and Chief Peter Anyekwe. Correspondent Emmanuel Chibata tells us more.
Space. Guy.
On his arrival, Mr. Obi joined a canoe to inspect the flood level at Umueze Anam and other impacted communities where houses have been submerged to roof levels. After the inspection, Mr. Obi, who returned to the holding camp at Nneyi Umueri, disclosed that he has also visited Ogbaru local government area and the industrial layouts in Onitsha. He said the visit was to sympathize with those affected and inspect the flood levels, while wondering why the federal government has not declared emergency on flood and provide intervention modalities and assured the victims of his support. During the visit, Dr. Nwoye provided the IDP camps with food items and relief materials, including bags of rice, beans, noodles, generator, toiletries and clothes, among other things. On his part, Chief Anyekwe said the visit from Mr. Obi is a step in the right direction in mitigating the plights of the victims, which Nigerians should emulate.
It's leading by example. Obi is the missing link. We need him to be there. If he's there, Nigeria will have a new look. That is assurance.
Receiving Mr. Obi and his entourage, the President General of Umueri, Chief Johnny Metchie, thanked for coming to their aid with relief materials at this point when parts of their farmland and houses have been devastated by the deluge, while calling on world leaders to show concerns by taking the environmental and climate change very seriously. Chief Metchie appealed to the federal government to build dams and dredge the Niger River to contain flood disaster. Appreciating the state government, churches, and good-spirited individuals for their interventions so far, the President General explained that more donations are expected in order to meet the needs of the displaced persons, noting that even when the flood recedes, they have to start life afresh.
Decided to suspend his campaign in order to come and visit the displaced people from different communities that are here in Umueri. But today I'm happy. I can see some security men here, and I learned that Red Cross was here too. You guys saw it. So it's much better now. The people look much happy. The children look much healthier. As you can see in their faces. So they're now answering. I'm glad they're answering my call.
The flood-displaced persons expressed joy and appreciation to the benefactors with songs. Emmanuel Shibata for ABS News.
The National Press and Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, Otumba Francis Meshioye, has asked the federal government to explore public-private partnership PPP windows in finding permanent solutions to the perennial flood disaster facing the country. Mr. Meshioye suggested the approach when he visited a harbour bridgehead industrial layout on Onitsha, Anambra State, to assess the level of damage done on the factories in the layout by the flood disaster. Correspondent Chibuzo Obirike reports.
The conference attracted academics, stakeholders, policymakers, captains of the industry and top government functionaries in the four critical areas including media executive, traditional rulers and community leaders. The theme of the conference is Advancing Nigeria Content Development for Industrial Productivity and Sustainable Digital Economy. Speaking on the theme of the conference, the chairman on the occasion, Professor Anthony Ikefuna, represented by the Managing Director of Anambra Broadcasting Service, Sachido Obidiewu, said that the science, technology, innovation and entrepreneurship play a prominent role in all sectors of Nigerian economy, stating that Governor Soludo's vision and mission of the state in making Anambra a livable and prosperous smart mega city leverages on the emergent technologies of the fourth industrial revolution. Professor Ikefuna maintained that science, technology, innovation and entrepreneurship are the core of improving the quality of life and economy of any nation when it is supported and built to provide solutions to the key gap area within an economy.
The theme of this conference, Advancing Nigerian Content Development for Industrial Productivity and Sustainable Digital Economy, is very, very apt. So there is no reason why content development in Nigeria shouldn't be appreciated globally.
The host and the Dean, Faculty of Physical Sciences of the University, Professor Kingsley Nwanzo, noted that the annual event is a huge academic achievement for the faculty and the university at large. He also said that the faculty will recognize and honor lecturers who has contributed immensely to the growth of the school in 22 years and best overall students in their various departments.
We build partnerships with industry, partnerships with academia, partnerships with government and civil society. For everyone here, you belong to the matrix. That is the triple helix plus model of development that we have been championing.
On her part, the acting permanent secretary of Ministry of Science and Technology, Mrs. Chinwe Achubu, said that the collaboration between her ministry and that of the university will facilitate prosperity for universities, firms, regions, and nations.
We apologize for that mix-up in the story. We bring that in our subsequent bulletin. A special prayer summit for the rebirth and renewal of Igbo land has been held with a call on Ndigbo to return to God in genuine repentance. The program tagged Ihu Igbo Ohoro, which took place at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, Enugu, attracted participants from the Igbo-speaking states in Nigeria. Queen Aniwogo completes the report.
The summit witnessed the breaking of kola nut by the representative of the traditional ruler of Nnewi town, Iwekenet Orizu, series of prayers for the liberation of Igbo land and symbolic igniting of fire in a bucket containing scent leaves and other ingredients for lightening the new face of Igbo land. Speaking on the significance of the day, one of the coordinators of the summit, Chief Mrs. Flora Ilonzo, recalled how she received the vision for the prayers to pray against evils and injustices perpetrated against Ndigbo and in Igbo land. She disclosed that having held the prayer summit, Ndigbo will no longer experience sorrows and the face of Ndigbo will become lightened up for good.
Ana mekene ndị niile enwe m anwụle n'ife mee tata maka na nọ na redio yokwu ndị mmadụ sị ọtụtụ ndị nọdụ n'ụlọ were arịgbe wụọ arụ isi ife bụ iru Igbo ọfụ ekpele eme tata na ọkụ onye Igwe Erizu zitelu mụnyelụ bụ na iru Igbo ga-achake n'ife ga-adị.
Also speaking, the President, Universal Prayer Fellowship, Abuja, Evangelist Iwuchukwu Ezenwafo, explained that the major area of interest is the deliverance of Igbo nation and restoring her to her former glory. Evangelist Ezenwafo recalled how they prayed for past Anambra election adjudged free and credible, adding that they are also charged to continue to pray especially for the 2023 general election, which he expressed hope that for the first time, Ndigbo and Nigerians would smile. He called on Igbo governors to be exemplary leaders in whatever they do, as well as lead the way in actualizing the Igbo agenda next year.
We are expecting that the 2023 elections will be fair and will be credible, and that the Igbo will be in the field for the first time. And that is exactly what is unfolding. And the Igbo governors should help us by, raising the bar.
In his remarks, President of Concerned Christians of Nigeria, Dr. Daniel Obi, noted that the prayer program is a covenant day God has made for the liberation of Ndigbo after 50 years of suffering after the Civil War.
We are going to do it right because it is the self-integrity facts, the guidance we take it to. And I also pray that the youth will understand time and season to know that this generation is a choosing generation for choosing people. Igbos are the covenant people God will use to liberate Nigeria, and Nigeria will liberate Africa, and Africa will liberate them.
In her comments, the chairperson, Market Women Association, Southeast Region, Chief Mrs. Ifeinwa Ezenwa, appealed to mothers to look inward among their families and children to nip in the bud crime and criminality among Igbo youths, stressing that the business of making money will not override the proper upbringing of their children.
So in Nabandi Nebukabiko,
ọbụrụ sọsọ echu ego ha na-ebe anya n'ụlọ ma ihe na-eme n'ụlọ maka ụmụazị anyị ọ ka ọ dị mma ka ọ dịla anyị maka ọ dịkwala ụmụazị anyị mma ka ọ dịkwala ana anyị mma ana Igbo.
In their separate remarks, a resource person, Mrs. Nkechi Otunyo, and the leader of Yahudin religion, Dr. Shaw Nwoye, expressed belief that the prayers will bring a new dawn in Igbo land, even as they warned Igbo youth involved in Okite of its terrible consequences. Queen Anibogo, ABS News.
The federal government has dared foreign airlines operating in the country to make good their threat to shut down operations, saying they should remain grateful for doing business in Nigeria. The government also berated the airlines for failing to employ a good number of Nigerians, noting that other nationals are more in the employment of the foreign carriers than Nigerians. Minister for Aviation Hadi Sirika, who spoke during a stakeholders meeting with key players in industry, insisted International Air Transport Association, which issued the threat, cannot blackmail government. The meeting, called at the instance of the Speaker House of Representatives, Femi Bajabiamila, had in attendance Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele and other top government functionaries. Emefiele said 1/3 of the global economy is in recession, but assured that the backlog of $700 million owed IATA will be paid, though the process appears slow. He said Nigerian airlines should also be allowed to fly into other countries and operate with a use of the naira. He noted that Nigeria remains the biggest market on the continent and must be respected. Africania Bank, a banking technology firm, is set to disburse grants to Nigerian farmers to promote agriculture in Africa in an effort to bring financial freedom and food security to Africa. This was made known by the Executive Secretary, Africania Bank, Mrs. Madeline Winkler in Oka. Onyinye Agubeze has details.
Mrs. Winkler told Anambra farmers that the purpose of the grant is to encourage people to return to farming because there is need for massive food production to combat food crisis and to provide opportunities for the youths. Explaining the grant terms and conditions, including opening an account with the Africanian Bank where the money will be credited, having a good business plan, selling 90% of agricultural products back to the bank after harvesting, she mentioned that the farmers will be trained in organic agriculture. Mrs. Winkler stated that it is a project for all farmers, particularly rural and underprivileged ones. She requested that the Anambra State government should assist in the successful execution of the project.
The mission to Anambra is more or less that people should go back to farming. We need food production, a massive food production in the future. It's to go against the food crisis that is in front of the door, and also to give opportunities to the youth. That is the major concern right now, yeah? A healthy food production and jobs to the youth.
Mr. Festus Obidozie, the project trainer, also emphasized the importance of agriculture and the financial benefits of getting into it. He added that the agricultural produce must be organically produced, as he said that the bank will give organic fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides and other inputs to avoid harmful products which can be hazardous to health.
Agriculture is a way to go. We want to farm, we want to turn around, we want to write the story. We want to tell the story afresh. There is money in agriculture. Hello? Can somebody say there is money in farming?
In their separate remarks, the founder Nnewi Entrepreneurship Initiative, Reverend Father Augustine Obiabo Sogu, the chairman All Farmers Association Anambra State, Sir Leo Ukatu, and the National Financial Secretary Yam Farmers Association, Chief Obiajulu Woye, welcomed the initiative of the bank, advising the farmers to utilize the opportunity to boost the agricultural sector of the state and the nation at large.
Grant many farmers so that they will benefit from this grant. We thank you very much.
God have come to help farmers because our farmers are suffering through so many dupas. We are very happy. Yeah. What you need, you will get it. Amen.
In Oka, I am Onyinye Agubeze reporting for ABS News.
Amnesty International has called on the International Criminal Court to investigate possible war crimes following the unlawful attacks committed during Israel's deadly assault on the Gaza Strip in August. Israeli forces boasted of the precision of their attacks on Gaza in August, said Amnesty International in a new report released that investigates the circumstances around 3 specific attacks on civilians. Amnesty said that the victims of Israel's so-called precise attack included a 4-year-old child, a teenager visiting his mother's grave, and a fine arts student killed by Israeli tank fire while at home drinking tea with her mother. Also investigated was an attack that killed 7 Palestinian civilians, which appeared to have been the result of an unguided rocket that was likely launched by Palestinian armed groups, the organization said. Israel's latest offensive on Gaza lasted only 3 days, but that was ample time to unleash fresh trauma and destruction on the besieged population. Amnesty International Secretary General said in a statement accompanying the report, the 3 deadly attacks we examine must be investigated as war crimes. All victims of unlawful attacks and their families deserve justice and repatriations, she said. Remember that you can follow ABS from any parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television Oka. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Oka. Follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main point again. Governor Soludo has assured of prompt completion of red projects. Special prayer summit for Igbo land has ended in Enugu State. Federal government has berated foreign airlines on threat to shut down operations. And Amnesty International is seeking war crimes investigation against Israel. Here's the special message again. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's it on the news this morning. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Chidimma Oranwa. Good morning.